Welcome to the round table. I am Jennifer Eller, and with me today is my co-host Mike Hill, our producer Nick Wilson,
Yay.
and then our guest is Shane Smith.
The Shane Smith.
Hello.
Shane, you know what I thought
Thank
of right away whenever they're doing this wrestling event? Mm-hmm. It's called
Ring of Redemption.
Ring of Redemption. I thought you would be the perfect referee.
Oh, I would love that.
I'm like, you want to talk about a
fan.
guy that could be a WWE referee? It would be Shane, we got to come up with that name. Like, all those guys have a weird name in the middle. Anyway, that's all I could think of. I'm like, you would be the perfect one. I think you send that out this week? Ring of Redemption, something?
Yeah.
So I thought, Shane, Ring of Redemption, referee.
Yeah,
That would be
Perfect
awesome.
referee. Cut off shirt. You'd have the animated, like, faces and,
Oh, yeah, I'd be good.
That was all
Yeah,
I'm saying.
no, that's awesome.
I'm a huge wrestling
Do we
fan,
need a
so-
referee, or they like
No,
have to
they
be
bring
a
it all.
sanction?
Yeah. So Huntington University students are doing a event here on April 12th. So it's a Friday night. You can get tickets. We'll be promoting it, but it's a wrestling event. So yeah.
Can Shane be the villain?
Probably not. This
Have
is
you
a
ever
whole
wa-
production that they're coming.
I
So
know.
You always got to have that crazy fan that jumps the ring.
Yeah.
It's part of the show. It's got to be there.
I mean, we can probably get Shane in early.
hey,
Don't you
Shane,
think of Shane being a crazy guy
I
like
think it would
that?
be awesome.
I mean, nothing against him, but doesn't he look like that guy? The guy that would be in there holding up the sign, and the next thing you know, he puts it down and goes running in there and starts fake beating up somebody.
The funny
Fake
thing
beating
is,
up?
back in the,
Oh, no.
Is that real?
Real beating up.
back in the day, me and my friends used to do. You ever play hort or pig in basketball?
Yeah.
We did it, but whenever we missed, you got to do whatever wrestling move you wanted to the other guy.
Like, suplex him right out there
Whatever
on the
you wanted
con-
to do.
See?
You could not say
Look
no.
at that. He's got the eyes. If you're watching, go to this moment. He starts putting his hands up, his eyes, like, I can suplex him. That is what I'm saying. That's what I love about Shane. Just that animated look. Sorry,
My
Jennifer.
Gosh.
That's all I could think
that's
of.
awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so what's your favorite childhood memory?
Well, as much as I did enjoy Happy's Place.
No, we're talking about that.
Come on, you
we're
gotta
talking about
okay,
that.
add in your childhood memory, but you got to make sure you talk
I
about
will.
Happy's.
Okay.
Definitely best childhood memory was I went down to New Mexico with my parents. My grandma and grandpa lived down there. And I actually got to meet Mick Foley when I was a kid. So for
Who's
me,
that?
that was huge,
Who's
because
Mick
he
Foley?
lived down there.
Jennifer.
Foley. I don't know who is that.
He is. He wrestled as a bunch of guys. He was. But,
Of
yeah.
course.
But yeah,
See?
that was awesome. And I mean, other than that, just
Did he
basic
like?
stuff.
Did he show you a wrestling move or anything?
He did. He did. It was only like 15 minutes. He was on his way. He just happened to be at a gas station at the time I went in there, but it was really cool. And then, other than that, my biggest memories, believe it or not, and what I miss most is fishing with my grandpa.
Aw.
Yeah, like that was just awesome.
Yeah. So the whole Happy Place thing. So that's on 55. You get home from school and you go to right.
Yep, Fox
That's what I
55, yep.
remember.
Yep.
You can watch Happy Place. So you were on it twice.
I was
made
on it twice.
Yeah. So on that whole 55 thing, you know what else I just thought of? Dick the Brutus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you know who Dick the Brutus is?
It's Dick the Bruiser, but you were close.
Oh, it is? Bruiser, not Brutus. Dick the Bruiser. Sorry. Either way, yeah, like that was on 55 too.
That was on
wasn't it?
55. Yep.
Was it a cartoon or
No,
a
it was
regular
another
show?
This is real deal.
Okay, because I remember watching He-Man.
Yeah, no, I remember
I do.
He-Man.
I mean, I do. I did watch 55, but
He-Man
yeah.
was great.
I don't remember Dick the Bruiser. So
Okay.
Okay, and you have two brothers, right?
brothers.
Okay. So what is the meanest thing you ever did to your brothers? Confession time, Shane.
Well, me and my middle brother was sledding with some friends one time, and we would go down sliding with, standing on the sleds together and going down seeing who would stand the longest.
Stand?
Well, yeah.
Stand on the sleds, yeah.
Well, he decided he was gonna take, and I'm doing it first, and and was just being kind of a pain in the butt about it, but it's like, okay. And made me upset, and I wasn't good with anger back then. But he ended up, I told him, it's like, get behind, because he's a skinnier guy, and he was on there with a big guy, and he didn't. He's like, no, I'm going up front, and the big guy fell on him, broke his arm.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I shouldn't have, but I ran over there and I grabbed his hand and I shook it, and it's like it's not broke.
That's what you deserve, you little sucker.
And then I ran home and hid behind Mom immediately. And she's like, what's wrong? He's like, you're going to see in a minute.
Don't listen to anything he says. I didn't really shake his broken arm.
But that was probably the worst thing I did.
My.
Jennifer, have you ever done anything mean to somebody?
Have I ever done anything mean?
Yeah. Like, you talk about personalities. If anybody looks at Jennifer, would anybody be like, she would do anything mean to somebody? Right, Nick. Nobody would think that, would they? No. Do you have a secret though? Do you have a secret, like
do.
that you were a mean girl? You were
remember.
never a mean
I
girl.
was never really I probably did. I didn't think about it.
Okay, so all you people that are watching that remember Jennifer from when her high school days when she was the mean girl, put a comment in there. Hey Jennifer, you remember when? Sorry, I'm into the personality thing today. I'm just thinking like Jennifer.
I probably
would
have
never
more
be
mean thoughts.
Oh, they never come out.
They don't really come out than being mean.
So you never had like that thought, and you're like, if this comes out, it could be really bad.
Maybe.
You're not sharing that with anybody? You're not going to share like this mean thought? Like I had this thought. And
No.
Really?
Nope.
What about you? What's the worst thing you ever did?
Oh gosh.
No.
Figure you got to answer the question too.
So we used to do this thing called car surfing.
Oh,
So my brother used to get on the hood of the roof of your vehicle, and you drive and going down a stone road, and he kept telling me to slow down, and I sped up and ended up ditching the car, going out in a cornfield and throwing him off the roof, and he rolled and got hurt, and I told him just get in. It was his fault anyway. That was one thing. One time in Adams County, we were going through Oak Woods. Used to be like a subdivision over there. And we stole the ketchup and mustard bottle from the AW root beer stand. So we thought it'd be fun to have one at home, like have a plastic ketchup and mustard bottle. So then we're driving through Oak Woods, and I thought it would be funny to squirt ketchup and mustard in somebody's vehicle.
Oh my gosh.
So we go driving by some guy's windows down in a Trans Am, and I'm like, just start coating it. Next thing you know, the guy sits up. He was in the vehicle sleeping. And we have this little dinky vehicle. I'm like, go, go, go. We went racing home. This guy chased us all the way to Mom and Dad's house. We locked the doors. He's like, so then he ended up taking Stanley's car. We didn't think to take the ketchup and mustard with us. So he did it to Stanley's whole vehicle.
My gosh. That's funny.
I have lots of them, Shane, so we can just like keep going and on all the stupid, mean things that I did as a kid.
Wow.
Dumb idiot.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're going to get serious. I had to write this down. I can't remember what I was going to ask you. So you grew up in a church, but you went to a lot of them. Mm-hmm. So what were those experiences like, and how did that shape your view of God?
They were really good. Like the first church I went to it used to be Nazareth over here in town, but I was friends with the pastor's son and kind of got in it through that. And and it was really good. And then the owner was a really awesome guy named Bob Ray, but he couldn't take care of himself very well. So I'd end up going to his house and, helping him work on things. And, so it was a good learning experience as far as God and, how to, build things. So it was a double win. The biggest thing I had with the church is, and it was me, it wasn't the church. Like, I just couldn't find somewhere that, I just couldn't bring myself to believe that God could love me. Mm. And it just, as much as I was looking for it and I wanted it, and like I went to church after church trying to find it, and I couldn't get my mind to accept that I'm worth God's love. And then, like, after my divorce, friend moved to Arizona, but she invited me here, and like as soon as I came in here, people just kept building me up and building me up and building me up, and it was like, I'm even pretty amazed at when I look at where I am now to where I was, like how far I've come and being willing to talk and open up, and because I'm a very timid person by nature.
Well, what happened? Like, what happened in your childhood? Or, again, not like we have to
No,
address childhood trauma,
part-
but like, why? You seem like, I can't, this is weird to me. Like, you seem like a very confident, forthright, like, guy that, but what you're saying is there was a time in your life where you didn't feel worthy or didn't feel.
No, I was good until about, once I got to high school, it was like, I couldn't find a clique that I fit into. And so I tried to stay by myself, and everyone had this version of me they wanted me to be, and I knew it wasn't me. Like, I'm not against school. School's great for some people. I knew it wasn't my route.
Right.
And everyone's like, you got to graduate school. And it's like, and it was a nightmare for me. Like, it actually got me where I fell in depression, was suicidal for a while. I actually even tried.
School.
Wow.
Yeah, I even tried once. I'll fully admit it, and luckily I failed. But yeah, it was rough because it's like, what's so bad about me that people just can't let me be my version of me? And
Right.
it was about 5 years that I just was drinking all I could and, doing everything bad I could just to not be in reality because...
This is during high school or after high school?
This
or?
was after. Like, I quit the first year of high school. As soon as I turned 16 and my mom couldn't tell me no, I was out.
Okay.
It's like...
So you moved out of the house at 16?
No, I lived there till I was 18.
But you just did whatever you wanted to. You just
Yeah.
didn't abide by rules and just...
Shame.
No,
Yeah.
No, you just didn't go to school.
Our rules
you
were
didn't
pretty
go.
lax, but no, as soon as I quit, I got a job, factory job, building things, and I knew I'd be all right at that, and I did good. But yeah, and even like, it's better now. Like, I still have my bad days. I'll fully admit I have my bad days where, it's rough pushing through, but it's never to the point where I want to, do anything dumb like that anymore. Because I know he's there, and I know the next day is going to be better. I didn't have that difference before. So, but yeah.
So when you're going through that in high school or out of high school, right? So you get a job and you go down the road and you, like a lot of people, self-medicate, so whether it's alcohol or anything, right? Like, you're trying to figure out how to just numb the whatever's going on, right, inside of that. So then you grew up in the church or grew up around a church, but at this point, like, faith and God, like, there's a God, but he's really not a part of any of the decision-making in your life. Would you say or not?
No, I absolutely would say. I would say he was not. I was always a good person. Like, I've always gone on my way to be good and kind to people. But no, absolutely, I would say, yeah, because I thought, at the end he's going to reject me anyway, and that's where my mindset was. So it really didn't influence what I did. Like, just not being in the reality was the biggest driving point. But I will say he was with me every step of the way.
No,
Like,
for
I wouldn't be
sure.
alive today if it wasn't for him, because there were a lot of nights I don't remember.
Right. So then you meet a woman? So this happens in this process?
No, I didn't meet my first wife I met when I was 31.
Wow.
Because, that was I didn't even want a relationship.
You didn't
during
want
that
any
time. Like,
women?
I didn't want anyone in. Like, I just, no, you're not.
So you were a loner?
I was an absolute loner. Like, yeah. And the only place that I even felt any time of kind of camaraderie was at the bar, because it was easy. Well, buy drinks, they'll like you, and you ain't got to talk about your actual life. So that was my social. That was the only social I had.
Wow. Yeah, and so then when somebody did, like, what opened the door of, like, okay, I'm a loner, I'm going to the bar, I'm self-medicated, I'm doing fine in life, I'm 30 years old, and now I want a woman?
It was a chance meeting. Her best friend was married to my best friend, and we just all, hung out one night, and it went from there, and like it was good, and
Let's say, did it help?
yeah,
You know,
it
because if you
absolutely-
find a good woman, there. I mean, even if they
Oh.
make mistakes, if you find somebody that can help build you up,
oh yeah, she made me a better me, absolutely. And I mean, we're still friends, still love her to death. We just didn't work as a couple. I mean,
Yeah.
she's married to a great guy now. Love her for it. Give him all the best. We're all in the same group, but so yeah, we grew apart. I'm not trying to dog her, but she was getting back into the party thing too much when I was kind of ready to settle down and be the family thing, and
right?
it just, so it didn't work out, but it was good. And then I divorced her 4 years in. We got divorced, and she was ready to move on. I was ready to move on. It wasn't anything bad, just easy settling. So we did that. I was single about 4 years, and then I met this amazing Catholic woman. And I'm not trying to dog Catholics either, but we were just about to get married, and the church wouldn't let her marry me because I had to get an annulment in my first marriage. It's like, show me in the Bible where it says that, and no one could. So I had to. It's like, I can't do it then. It's like, I'm not going to lie in God's house to please people, and we end up separating. I went down after that to the bar, had a bad night, got in a fight with wife number 2.
Because you met her in the bar too.
Yeah, and a
Okay.
week later, we end up hanging out, and we hung out for a while. And this is gonna sound mean to say, but I don't think we would have got married, except I put so much effort into the one that I was about to marry. It hurt. Like, it's like that's the one. That's my forever. And then I had to give it up for something like that, and it hit hard. And there wasn't any work involved to be with her, so it's like, okay, at this point, it's just somebody. I don't want to.
Well, wait a second. Okay, I had to make sure I'm tracking. So, wife 1, 4 years, got a divorce. 4 years, you meet Catholic future wife. Didn't work.
No.
Go to the bar. I'm just, again, I don't mean, I'm not saying it bad. I'm just trying to
I
make
get it.
okay, so then you go to the bar, and then I heard you say you fought with wife,
Number 2, the one that he just, not the girlfriend.
not
No.
not the Catholic girl I'm going to marry.
No, the lady he's
So
gonna
now
marry.
you get in a fight with your future wife.
Yeah, because we go down there, and I'm sitting there, and she looks at me, and she's like, "How do you chase every good woman away?" And then right after
Well, that's kind of harsh.
and it hurt. It's like, and it made me mad, and it's like, I end up punching the bathroom door and leaving. And yeah, apparently the owner and some of the other people got on her pretty bad after I left. So she apologized, and went good.
And then you're like, oh, I'd like to marry her.
I did.
And I don't mean that being like
No,
bad. I'm
I
just saying,
thought-
like, how did you go from wanting to punch her face in to wanting to marry her? Right? Because you're mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I missed the family life. I missed it horribly.
Yeah.
And
So you needed something to fill the
we
gap.
had that, because
Yeah.
we had 2 stepdaughters, and so that made me like overlook all the red signs, and there were a lot of them. Everyone was like, "Don't marry her." It's like, but I did.
And she had a couple kids.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we had 2 stepdaughters.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that didn't go so well.
It didn't.
And again, at this point, you're not in church with any of them.
Actually, the weird thing is, I was in church before me and her. I was going to Awakening, and that's where I met Rob and Travis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
How'd you end up there?
a friend of mine went there, and he invited me to go. And I went, and like that was when I first felt God. I will thank Him, Awakening, for that, because it was right
Yeah.
after the divorce, and this Pastor Jeff was up there speaking, and I was in tears because just thinking about my marriage and stuff, and like, and he does the altar call, I walk up there bawling like a 2-year-old, you know. But and God, you know, that was when God really said, come back, you know.
Wow.
Because I knew it was either go to a really good place or go back to a really bad place. Like there wasn't a
Yeah.
third option.
So that like jump started your relationship with Christ.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So did you get involved? Did you like get in a small group? Like tell me like how did that?
I didn't, because
Okay.
back then, like I was so scared. Like I couldn't even make eye contact with people most of the time. Like that's how beaten down I was. Like, you know, but those two just every week made it a point to talk to me. And like Rob has been such an amazingly huge mentor to me, and I am so thankful for him. Like, you know, there's for the like meetings outside of here, just, you know, just every step of the way he was with me and telling me, you know, what can I do to get you to where you got to be. And so, you know, but yeah, just was in that church and went good. And then the second wife wasn't a Christian, and that was one of the big things that should have made me not marry her, because if a Christian gets with a non-Christian, you're not going to pull the Christian in. They're going to, usually they're going to pull the Christian away. And that's what she did. You know, it was, you know, okay, miss this Sunday for things. And then it just, you know, it got where I wasn't going to church again. And after I divorced her, I said to one friend, you know, talked me into coming here. And it's funny, when I came, I was even going to walk by. It's like I walked by and I got to the door. It's like, no, I'm just going to keep walking. She just happened to be pulling into the parking lot at the same time. And
Who was
pointed
pulling
me.
in?
Her name was Kyra.
Oh,
Young.
Kyra Young.
Yep. But she was like pointing at me. It's like, okay. And I came in and like it just felt right here, because the one thing that impressed me was everyone was just who they are, and they was okay with just being who they were. You know, it wasn't oh man, you know, Sunday best, you know, put on this thing that isn't you. And so that was the big thing. And I just instantly fell in love with this place. And
How long ago's that been?
I first started coming here, I want to say, it was 2017. Yeah. I want to say it'd been 2018, I think.
Were
toward
we
the end of
down here yet?
2018.
No.
No, we were
We're
still upstairs.
We came down here 2020. COVID.
COVID.
Okay, but we're on Shane again. Bad memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
So then once you got here, like, did that restart? Like, talk through how, because I look at you today and I'm like, I feel like you've really grown in your faith a lot. And I
absolutely.
feel like, again, all of those things you say about being backward and like not, like you stand at the door and welcome everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, you're going from a guy that says you couldn't make eye contact with somebody to a place where you stand at the door every Sunday when you're walking in. I mean, everybody knows you. Because, like, even when I'll talk to people, they're like, you know, the guy, the bigger guy that has a cutoff shirt. Yeah, Shane. Yeah, like everybody, I mean, they might not know your name, but they know you, you know.
It was just over. Like, I think I had a lot of conversations with Michelle in the beginning. Like, she was probably the first one that I started talking to, like, on a set down basis. And then, you know, Jennifer asked me to join the team as, you know, setting up chairs, and we talked. And it was just after that, it just like kept growing, and I kept getting more comfortable, you know. And I kept setting like goals for myself, because like being social isn't natural for me, but you know, I worked up. It's like, okay, I'll do setup, you know, and I started doing that, and then it went well, and then, you know, and then Rayanne, you know, well, you want to start working in the gym? It's like, oh man, yeah, and yeah, but I built myself into that. In the first few weeks of that, I was like super uncomfortable, but you know, and it's just slowly seeing steps to go forward with it. Because I'm never going to be that confident, you know, super confident guy, like, you know, I love who I am kind of guy. I'm better at it, but I'm still not going to be, because once you have the kind of damage I had, and I'm not trying to be your victim, but you just don't get back to being a normal person. You really don't. And, you know, but it's, it's
Well,
just,
can you talk about a couple of the things? Like, let's just say you're never going to get back because there is damage. So, for all the people that are listening, I think this is like something we can learn from. So, all of us, or some of us, have certain things that happen in your life that we don't know that you can come out of completely, but you have transformed. Like, there has been transformation. So, if you were just going to say, like, hey, here's a couple things that helped me transform, what would it be? Like, because for somebody that's going through the same thing, like, how do you dig yourself out of the pit? Or how do you have somebody help dig you out of a pit? What would be some of the things you'd be like, because of this and because of this and because of this, I am better today?
yeah. Oh, definitely. The biggest thing is, quit trying to think, or I switched from trying to find the answers at a bar. I went from, and I still go to the bar on occasion. I haven't been drunk in a while because I wasn't going to celebrate, and have fun and be happy about life. I was going to put it away, and I don't do that anymore, and it's things like that, just noticing I got a lot of good stuff in my life. Like, I got some bad, I got some bad that happened. I am so grateful for the life I have now. Like, I am surrounded by amazing people. I got a job I enjoy going to. It's basically me and another guy talking nerd stuff for 10 hours. It's barely, so it doesn't seem like work. So it's where everything's where I'm supposed to be now, and I didn't do that on my own. Like, I know that. He just, even when I left Bendix, like, every step of the way, God's like, you need to be here. And it was never a stress thing, like, when you lose a job unexpectedly and you walk away. Some people do that, and I didn't have that because he was just instantly like, I'm going to show you everything you need to do. And like, I was going to go back to work right away, and he even got, I even felt him say, no, take, step away for a little bit, readjust yourself, and so it's just, the biggest thing is take time and be willing to look at the situations in life, good and bad, and appreciate them and accept them. Accept the bad, appreciate the good. And that was, once I got to where I accepted the things that happened to me, I didn't like them. I still don't like them, but I accepted them. It wasn't the bitter anger that was there. And so that's the biggest thing. When you get the acceptance, the bitterness and anger goes away. The hurt still shows up sometimes, but,
Yeah, so if you could point to a couple things that God has done in your life, so kind of jump-started at the awakening, but then when you said you come to life and, like, God's done a certain work in you, like, if you could say, you know what, he has really helped me with this or that, what would that be?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing was being asked to be a part of just the workings of the church, because to me it was like, I didn't feel I'd ever be an insider, or I don't know if that's the right word.
That's a perfect word. Yeah, behind the curtain, seeing what's going on, being a part of a team.
Yeah.
Being a part of a team.
I didn't really think I'd ever have that in church, and it was, you guys inviting me to that was a big, huge step, and
I just want to say, Shane, you're an amazing volunteer. So I am thankful that you're a part of the
I
team
appreciate
because,
that.
people missed out on getting to know you. So,
I'm
you're
working
always
on that.
willing to jump in whatever we ask you to do. You're like, yes, you're all in. You're all in.
Yeah, because I love what we're doing. Like, I see the difference, and like, one of the biggest joys I have is I love when I'm sitting back there and I will see somebody from my old, dark days come into this church. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. Like, to see that I'm not the only one who is progressing, and
Right.
So, and another thing that built me big was I was working with a guy over at Innovative Packaging way back in the day, and he was going through a divorce, and I'd already gone through my first one, and he was taking it really hard, and we was having a conversation, and he was kind of, doing the pity party thing, and I get it when you're going through something like that, and he's like, well, I'll just kill myself, I'm like, he's like, nobody cares about me. I'm like, you got 2 kids that care about you. It's like, I love you, man. It's like, I want to see you here tomorrow. And, you know, and he came in after that, and he's like, you know what? Last night I was feeling down, and I thought of you saying that. It's like it, you know. And so just little steps along the way. I remember there was a night at the bar. A guy, he was in a foul mood because his brother had just died, and you know, he was being angry and stuff. And I'm like, went over and talked to him because I knew him and his brother for a while, so I knew what was going on. And I'm like, man, you need to calm down. It's like, do we need to go outside and talk? He's like, no. And he's like, will you pray for me? I'm like, absolutely. I'm like, we'll pray right here. And, you know, he's like, and we got some looks. You know, 'cause bars aren't the usual praise thing. But we also had some people come and join in prayer. So that was like super cool to me. You know, it's just things like that, like reminder that I make an impact more than I know. And, you know, and so I always, after that, I made a point to never lose the opportunity to be, at least try not to, be a part of somebody's life just because of my own insecurity, you know? And so, yeah, I would say those were the two biggest things.
Has your mom always come?
No.
Right?
Mom?
I mean, because, no?
Probably the last 2-3 years, maybe.
Yeah, I think 3 years. She was in church before I was, or for a while, apparently, when I was young. And she had a fallout with the church. And, you know, when you're at a bad church, and you know, we have them. I wish we didn't, but,
No.
you know,
Right.
they're there. But she quit going to church and was just becoming like basically a female version of what I was before it. And it's like, and I just hated it. Like, you know, if there's one thing for a man, if there's one person a man wants to see when he gets to heaven, I think for most men, it's their mom. Like, I fully admit there's no one I want in heaven to see than my mom. So, you know, and that's where the whole, I've told you that she asked me what I wanted for my birthday one year, and I'm like, I want you to come to church. It's like, just one time, you don't like it, you never have to come back. She did, and after that, she never missed a week, and, you know, it's so powerful. Like, and I was mad at you guys for a minute when we did baptism for putting her on right before me and me watching her baptized. And of course, I'm going to cry. Like, I'm an emotional guy by nature, and I cry a lot, and it's like, so I'm up there all teared up. But I mean, that's going to be something I carry with me forever, is seeing that, knowing that she's going to be there with me when I get there.
It's neat to see her grow too. You know,
absolutely.
she's serving, and now she has a group of friends, and they sit together and they talk before Sunday. And I don't know if she was working out in Champs with them, and it's just, that's just really cool.
She's part of the whole old ladies group.
She is, you know, and yeah, that's just fun when you see somebody come and you see that growth within them, and yeah, with her baptism too, and yeah, so good.
Well, and they're just the willingness, like you said about Shane. Like, it's so cool to see people there be like, how can I help?
Yeah.
You know, what do you need? Like, what do you need? And from what I would understand, your mom's the same way, right? And like, how can I help, right?
Yeah,
She
we
sets
asked
up
her
communion.
Yeah,
and
we asked her, can you do that? And she's like, because she's always here. You know, they come to do chairs, and she was just sitting out there. And so
Right.
there's your perfect person.
Yeah,
And
she jumps in and does it every week and gets it all set up. And I mean, it's a job to get all of those, get that stuff together.
And you have to do it quickly between services to get it
Yeah.
ready for the next. And so she's there.
Yeah, I'm so proud of her on so many levels.
Yeah.
Like, she had a rough life between, you know, my dad. I love my dad, I'm not dogging him at all, but their marriage was rough. And raising us three boys on our own was not easy. I mean, we were not well behaved most of the time, doing dumb things, you know, how boys are.
Yeah.
But so, and yeah, just, I love seeing her happy now. Yeah. And she is here. Like, she enjoys it. Like, she loves her friends, like you said, you know, and, you know, she tells everyone about the services, and she loves that, you know, it's like when you lose your step and get cracked up on something, like, she just thinks that's the greatest thing ever. She's like, he's human.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like, Mike is the most, he is who he is, and it doesn't change when he steps up there. It's like, so yeah, I mean, and yeah, her working out is good. So she's getting in there.
Yeah, so one of the things that, like, I want people to, if they've missed this, like, in it, like a takeaway, when we're at church, to remember that it's not always for us. Like, you walk into the Awakening and somebody meets you, right? And that's a moment, right? It's a moment where, you know, Rob and Travis both are like, hey, I noticed you. That it wasn't just for them. It wasn't just like they were there, divine appointment, just like you've been there for people today, right? So just like when people walk in the door, you have made yourself available, right? By standing at the door, being a welcoming face. Like, if you talk, like tonight when we do Discover Life, if you hear one thing over and over again, it's like Life Church is the most welcoming, friendly, made to feel like home. And that's because people like you have made yourselves available. Like, I'm going to be available to say hi, to put on a smile. Like, it's a huge thing to remember, I guess.
Oh, absolutely.
How impactful it was for you and how you've turned around and done that for other people.
Yeah, like I've had some amazing conversations. I remember right after baptism, the next week, there was, and I only talked to her the 1 week, and I would love to talk to her again, but she came up to me and she like was like, so like, I'm so proud. It's like talking about getting divorced. It's like, I've been through it, and it's like, I don't talk about mine. And it's like, I was so impressed by that. And it's like, you know, she's like, you sat back here and looking like a, you know, I'm not going to use the word, but a bad, you know. And it's like, and you were up there,
Yeah.
bawling. It's like, and it's like, yeah, it was an amazing moment. And it's like, I mean, even when I did the video, I remember at first, I'm like, Nick, you got to cut out the tears.
No, but people need to see that stuff. Like you said, we're real, we're authentic. You know, you're back there with a cutoff, your hat. You know, you're saying those things. It's like people need to know that. It's like that's who you are, and we support that. You know, and we're all individuals, and so that helps people to feel more comfortable and sharing your story. You know, people could relate to that, and she felt like she maybe belonged more because you went through this, you know, she's going through the same thing that you went through, you know, and so.
Yeah, that was awesome. So if she's listening, I would love to have more conversations with you.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing that you shared, and I think we miss this sometimes, so it's not just volunteering, it's the power of belonging, right? That we should remember as people asking for volunteers that it's not just volunteering, it's about belonging to something bigger than ourselves, right? Yeah. And that's what you said, and I thought that was really powerful. There's something about belonging. Like, this is your home. These are your people that you are serving, that you're a part of, that you're a huge part of the team that's making a difference for the kingdom.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's huge. Like, it's different than just, they asked me to set up chairs, or, they asked me to do this. No, I get to be a part of something.
Yeah.
Like, that perspective is huge. And as volunteers and as people asking for volunteers, we need to remember that this isn't volunteering. This is being a part of a movement of what God is doing. And I'm thankful, like you said, thankful that I can just be a part of it.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and it's at the Champs, you know, events too. Like, I've even, those have created some amazing moments too. And so I love that we have multiple ways of reaching the community, because that's why, I think that's a huge reason why we're going and getting the numbers we are, is, you know, we have, you know, outlets for people that might not know God and still come in, and, you know, we're not going to push them on you, but we'll sit down and talk to you all day long,
right?
You know, and tell you what's so great about them. You know.
Yeah, so we're getting to the end. So here's a couple things to think about, or just one thing. If you could look at, because I think that I'm still amazed, because I didn't know anything. Like, I would have never believed you were shy, first of all. I would have never believed that self-confidence was an issue. So you've come so far. But if you could look at the next 2, 3, 5 years, you'd be like, if I could be like a preferable future for you, not even like I'd love to do this, or I'd love to, you know, accomplish this, what would that be for you in the next couple years? And it doesn't have to just be spiritual. It could be physical. It could be like anything that you want to be able to accomplish.
Well, the two goals I know I have right now is I'm building up the confidence to do a DECA event because I enjoy our thing. But when I came into a DECA one time and I was here like 5 minutes and it just set in and started getting me nervous and it's like I got
intimidating.
It's like I got to go. And, and I walked right out. It's like,
I
nope.
thought you've done these events
I've
before.
never done a DECA. I've
He's
done
done like
the
Amazing
Amazing
Grace or,
and those. But
Something else she's done.
You're
I feel
saying
like,
Amazing Grace is less intimidating?
it is
Really?
because it's mostly people that we know from the church, whereas DECA, there's a lot of outside that comes in and like me.
They're hardcore,
Yeah, Yeah, and they're
Yeah, I don't know.
They're-
Yeah.
that and I want to get married again. Like I miss the family life. I have a roommate right now. We're just friends. I think it's going to go there, but she's a pretty damaged person too, and I'm not going to go into detail. But she has a lot to work. So we're working on it slowly and giving each other time because. If you rush it, it's not gonna be what you want it to be. You got to let God do His work while you two are doing your work, and when it's right, it'll be there. So those are the two big things. Job, I don't know, man. I'm pretty happy where I am, so I don't think I'm gonna step up much there. Like
No.
I don't want to.
So
be,
a DECA, we'll be praying that you get the courage to do a DECA, right? And that your future wife, that you get and have the family life again.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so for me, I'm like Jennifer. Like, I love to see now even more, honestly, like, because I didn't know any of your story before. Now it's just even more like, that's super cool. Like, super proud of you for, it takes a lot of courage. If that's where you were in life, it takes a lot of courage to be where you are today. You know, and putting yourself out there. So, like, I am really proud of you and so cool to see. And it's really a testament that anybody, let God do the work. You can get to places where He can use you.
Yeah. You're never too far gone. Like, I thought I was and just never was. He was there every step of the way. I just didn't notice Him. I noticed Him. I didn't acknowledge Him.
Right.
And now I acknowledge all the greatness He brings, and so thankful for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm proud of you. I mean, I just get to see you from a distance. I mean, I'm not a part of the person asking you to volunteer, but that's really true. Like, every time you look around, you're here, as a part of anything that we're doing. And so if you're watching and or listening, you'll know. Like, we don't have to be like, oh, Shane's a first or second service guy. He is the guy standing by the door with the hat on and the smile. And I can't remember very many Sundays where you're not there.
No,
You know what I mean? I mean, it has to be, I can't think of times where you're not there. So stop in, say hi, again, encourage, him in those ways. And again, just come alongside and introduce yourself, I hope that's not too overwhelming.
No.
I never thought, sorry, I never really thought about, like, here's a guy that struggles with a little bit of.
No, but you're right. No, I welcome that. And it's almost seeing, like, between the thing we did upstairs a few years ago, the prayer thing. I'm trying to remember. That was big because and then when we had people write the notes on the cross, it's things like that that remind me that there's a lot more people broken like me than there are, the ones that got together.
Yeah.
So
We're all a bunch
Well,
of
nobody
messed
has
up
it
people.
together, and if they
That's-
do, they're liars.
Yeah.
So,
that's huge. So I welcome anyone. I'm gonna listen to anything you guys say, and we'll love you through it.
Yeah.
yep, for sure.
Awesome. So again, if you see this when it comes out, make sure you like, share, comment. We'd love to be able to get Shane's story out on multiple different platforms in multiple different ways. So if you share it, we can get it out there. And again, we love your comments. It allows us to be able to, for more people to be able to see it. And again, make sure that you come up and say hi. So thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.